Today's episode of Off the Timeline is titled The 2002 Season That Exposed College Football. In the 2001 offseason, college football does not evolve. It fractures. Jim Tressel leads Ohio State, and Ohio State responds by hiring Dennis Erickson, a move that looks modern, rational, and completely defensible. And before the 2002 season even begins, 8 major programs disappear entirely. What follows isn't parody, it's exposure. The two decisions that flip the sport. Ohio State turns to Dennis Erickson, a national title coach with a modern offensive resume, a hire meant to professionalize the Buckeyes and future-proof the program. At the same time, Notre Dame hires Jim Tressel, not to modernize, but to stabilize. Two programs solve opposite problems, and in doing so, quietly trade identities without realizing it. The 8 programs that vanish. Before a single snap of the 2002 season, Michigan, Oklahoma, Georgia, Tennessee, Miami, Florida, Colorado, Syracuse, Louisville are dissolved completely. These weren't just wins removed from schedules, they were structural buffers. Without them, pressure doesn't disappear, it migrates. Power without homes. With traditional anchors gone, the sport redistributes authority carefully. Coaching changes include Larry Coker to UCLA, Bob Stoops to Arizona State, Mark Richt to Virginia, Lloyd Carr to Iowa, Philip Fulmer to Arkansas. Ken Dorsey ends up at USC, Chris Sims at Texas A&M, Willis McGahee's at Florida State now, and Clinton Portis is at Oregon. No super teams, no stacking, just leveraged redistribution across real institutions. Conferences scramble to stay whole. With pillars gone, conferences act out of necessity. The Big Ten losing Michigan pulls in Notre Dame and Iowa State to preserve gravity. The SEC losing Georgia and Tennessee stabilized by adding Virginia Tech and NC State. The Big 12 without Oklahoma and Colorado bring in BYU and Utah. The ACC thinned out at the top brings in West Virginia. This isn't expansion for growth. It's expansion for survival. With this comes a new 16-team playoff era. No auto bids, no conference guarantees. 16 teams are selected on resume, perception, and tolerance for risk. Every round is a referendum, not just on teams, but on conferences. Round of 16, every game, every consequence. First matchup, LSU over Oregon State. LSU asserts itself as the SEC pillar, while the Pac-10 is reminded that creativity alone doesn't equal control. Florida over Kansas State. Florida's volatility overwhelms Big 12 stability, reviving the SEC depth narrative even without its traditional powers. Texas over BYU. Texas survives, but the Big 12 still fails to look authoritative, while independents earn legitimacy without leverage. UCLA over Oregon. Pac-10 on Pac-10 battle, reinforcing its reputation as dangerous but self-sabotaging. USC over NC State. USC advances on talent alone, positioning itself as the Pac-10's sole dependable export. Virginia Tech over Ohio State. ACC exposes Ohio State's identity drift, and the Big Ten's authority takes a direct hit. Notre Dame over Texas A&M. Notre Dame wins cleanly, reinforcing Big Ten-style discipline without officially belonging to it. Iowa over Florida State. Iowa's patience dismantles ACC speed, quietly restoring Big Ten credibility even in defeat elsewhere. The rest of the playoff. In the quarterfinals, LSU ends Florida's surge, confirming SEC power now runs through LSU. UCLA upsets Texas, cementing Texas's national reputation for tightening under pressure. USC handles Virginia Tech, proving talent still travels. Notre Dame controls Iowa, validating Tressel's structure-first approach. In the Final Four, LSU beats UCLA, with the adults taking over the room. Notre Dame upsets USC, turning discipline into an asset. In the championship game, LSU defeats Notre Dame not with spectacle, but with inevitability. LSU doesn't win because the sport changed. LSU wins because it didn't. Now for the winners, losers, and in between this universe. Winners, LSU and the SEC. Top heavy, feared, and structurally validated. Notre Dame. Modern relevance without the nostalgia. The Pac-10, chaotic but nationally inevitable. Losers, Ohio State and the Big Ten, respected but no longer inevitable. Texas and the Big 12, talent without closure. Florida State and the ACC, volatility comes to the surface. Mixed legacies, USC powerful but governable. Florida, dangerous but never dominant. Virginia Tech, respected disruptor, not ruler. This universe doesn't punish talent, it punishes institutions that confuse talent with control. This wasn't a season about chaos. It was a season about what happens when college football loses its shock absorbers and finds out who can still upright without them. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. If you like this universe, hit like. It helps more than you think. If you disagree, comment. I read every one. And if you want more alternate college football histories that focus on institutions, not just box scores, subscribe because this sport isn't fragile, it's exposed.